Bob, why don't you tell us about what's in this brochure?
Okay. The large white brochure that I held up earlier, Marty, contains information that'll give people some information and some guidance on things that are needed to properly have a blueprint of what their assets are and where they're located, and it helps them protect themselves in the event of disability, and it provides their power of attorney with guidance and or their executor with guidance of, among other things, what they own and where it's located. So in the white brochure, for example, there's a simple booklet called What I Own and Where It's Located, which is a way where people can document their name, their date of birth, their social security number, and where they do their banking and where their other important legal documents are located. Another one is the duties of the executor, which I mentioned earlier, which will give their executor and them some guidance on what's involved in settling an estate. And when they review this handy checklist, it'll give them some insight in terms of whether the person that's currently named in their will to settle their estate will have the requisite ability to carry out the job. Another article I've written years ago talks about what questions are frequently asked and what people should consider when they're making a will, or whether they're considering whether their will is up to date. Another one is, what about the personal items in their home and how they would like those items to be distributed when they pass away? And that goes into the subject of letters of instruction. A letter of instruction is where people can document, among other things, their funeral arrangements and then who they may want to receive their jewelry, their furniture, their automobile, and anything that may be personal, of value, whether it's of real value or sentimental value. Another simple article talks about the power of attorney and things to consider and the different types of it. Another one deals with the issue of the advance directive and living will and things that people should consider. Another one is the issue of probate and revocable trusts. Another one explains our current federal death tax, the exemptions, the amount of tax if somebody should die with an estate over a certain amount. And that law, as I mentioned earlier, is constantly changing. Another article we've written is dealing with what is involved in a guardianship. Another article is what is the New Jersey death or estate tax and how is that handled and what are the exemptions. Another one is the importance of safeguarding legal documents and where to keep original documents. Where should you keep your original will? Another one is questions that are frequently asked about Medicaid and how to protect one in the event of a disability or nursing home, and how to deal with the Medicaid trap. So these and other articles written are a good checklist of things to consider to see whether or not your estate plan is up to date and other steps that you can take to guard your hard-earned assets. And we regularly make these articles available. We're happy to share them with the public, and if anyone has any questions or they'd like to receive a copy, they're available for them.
Good.
And if anyone would like to receive a copy of this, the large white brochure, they can stop by the CCTV studios, or they can leave a question. If they'd like to receive a copy, they can receive a note and put it in the mailbox. I know the CCTV studio where we're sitting today has a mailbox, which is located right next door to the activities office in Dorchester Hall, and they can indicate that they'd like to receive this brochure and the other handouts I showed earlier. And they can also, if they'd like us to answer questions of a nature that perhaps we didn't address today, they can write their questions down, again, put them in the mailbox next to the activities office in Dorchester Hall, and we'll be glad to answer these questions on a future broadcast such as today, and we welcome that opportunity. And of course, as always, people can call our office, and we'll be glad to discuss their questions over the phone, and as always, they're free to call and make an appointment by calling us at 732-657-0600. Ask for Jacqueline, and she'll be glad to schedule a confidential personal appointment. And the first appointment is, as I said earlier, free of charge, and we do that as a professional courtesy to you, our listeners and friends here in Leisure Village. Thank you.